Hey everybody, welcome back to the Espresso Outlet YouTube channel. My name is Barrett, and today I have something that I think a lot of people have been holding out for. It is the brand new DF83V. The V stands for the variable RPM, similar to the DF64V that came out about a year ago. And we'll go over all the features for the most part today. I know that there's gonna be a lot of questions come up. I will let you know, this is a very early production model. So your final one may come out different. So like for example, on the DF64 Gen 2, mine had a red button. The final production had white. I don't know if anything's gonna change, but we are gonna just take a first look at this grinder. I haven't seen any videos out there on this specific grinder. So we're just gonna hit really the main points, but I do want you to let me know below if you got any questions, if you want me to try anything. We're really gonna start using this thing and just having people have that first look at this grinder. So just starting off, you can tell it's a little bit different than the other DF style grinders that we sell. Most of them are like a vertical motor configuration, and this is the first horizontal motor configuration. Now we've tried a handful of different things. We felt like this is something that we wanted to try, and so far it has worked extremely well. So that's like probably the biggest thing that you're gonna notice is it looks quite a bit different, and it kind of sweeps backwards. And that's because the beans actually get fed into the front, and then they actually go towards the back and down as they're ground. So a lot of people are like, why backwards? Why not forwards? Why not just parallel or perpendicular? It's just the way that the grinder works, and it works very well. You can see it is set on 1600 RPMs right now. That is the maximum RPM. This is a DC motor. So with the DC motor, you're gonna get a quieter motor, but DC also allows you to have the variable RPM. So as it is today, the max is 1600 RPM, and this one goes down to 300 RPM. So on the DF64V, it only went down to about 600 RPM, and I really only use the DF64V at a slow RPM for slightly darker and drip style beans. Where this, we really wanted to put a lot more oomph into the motor and make sure that we're not gonna have any stalling issues, we're not gonna have any issues with this grinder in the future. So I'm not gonna say run it on 300, I'm not gonna say that that's the best, but you do have the ability to go from 300 to 1600. So that's very exciting. While we're in this configuration, we have a dose cup that looks similar to the DF64V's dose cup, but you can see on the bottom that they have included a magnet. So it does have another magnet in the base, and you can see it self-aligns. It's not necessarily new technology. Other companies have been doing it. It's been a request that we add that on our grinders, so we chose to do that. It actually works very well. Next, we have our chute. Now, the main portion of the chute is magnetic, so it does just simply come off, and it's just open on the inside. Now, I'm gonna show you a picture of the inside of the chute as well as the declumper. So on the DF64V, because of its design, as it is today, there is no sort of like an ion or plasma generator in it. With this DF83V, we have opted to put an ion generator into this grinder. So up in this portion, there is a plasma generator and kind of a unique new style declumper that I've really found to be fantastic so far. So we're gonna show you some close-up pictures on the screen, but I'm just gonna keep talking. So cleaning is really simple. It's really easy to get to, simple brush. You have chute and your dosing cup. Let's flip it around. And one of the things that, it never really bothered me with the DF64V, but the display stays on all the time. So when I first saw this, I said, why two switches? Why two buttons? Like, what's going on here? And the point behind this toggle switch is so that when you leave for the day, or if maybe you live in like a one-bedroom apartment or something, you don't want all these extra lights kind of out of the corner of your eyes. Now they've incorporated this toggle switch to completely turn off the display. If you think it doesn't turn off, it takes about 5 seconds for the display to go dim. There are some capacitors inside of this that will keep it lit up for just a few extra seconds after you turn it off. but when you flip it back on, it turns back on. So kind of nice that they added the 2 power buttons. At first it seemed a little bit unnecessary, but so many people asked for it, they got it. We have a metal power button, and the motor's running right now. I'm gonna go close with my microphone. And obviously it's not grinding anything, so it's gonna be much quieter, but this is the maximum RPM of 1600. Very quiet. So that's the controls in a nutshell. Really simple controls. I really like them. The adjustment dial, it's a little bit different. It's kind of like, oh, I don't know what I'd even say it's like. It is kind of like the V, but it's more like maybe an EK43 or something like that, where you have a point in the top and then this outer adjustment move. So it's really nice. You're looking straight down and you can see what number you're on. Now, if you do swap out to like a SSP burr or something like that, re-zeroing is super easy. You just go until it stops. There's a little Allen head right here. You loosen it up and you just spin it until it's at that 0 mark and tighten it back down. So extremely easy. You're not gonna have an arrow that's kind of pointed off the side. And I know it kind of bugged people at first with like the DF83, but it doesn't bother me, at least anymore. And I see so many people doing that as they have like SSP burrs. So out of the box, super easy to re-zero. It does have kind of like the Gen 2 style bellow. So it has the wood cap and a bellow, and the hopper itself has a declumper in it. So kind of similar to the Gen 2. It works very well. It has such a long ways that it doesn't really have much of a popcorn issue. So the anti-popcorn, I really never found a huge need for in this grinder yet, personally, but it has it built in. So it's really nice and it looks really nice. I was curious just out of the box, will this fit? The answer is no, at least with this. I'm sure there'll be some sort of aftermarket that someone will make, but out of the box, if you're wanting to use this, I'm probably going to use it like this quite a bit without the bellow, and it's probably going to work very well. So that is the overall controls of this grinder. It is not that much bigger than the DF83. It takes up a little bit more depth on your counter. We'll do a side-by-side. I'll grab a DF83 here in a second, but it just really tucks in. Here it is next to that Rocket Apartamentos, the new version, the TCA. And you can tell I just grabbed a tape measure. It is only about 15 3/4 inches. So I know a lot of people, standard US countertop to bottom of cabinet in most homes is gonna be 18 inches. There are homes that are older, or there are homes that are handicap accessible, etc., that are gonna be less. So just something to keep in mind. But you can see most of these machines nowadays are about this height. They've actually shortened them quite a bit. And it's a little bit taller than the espresso machine itself, but I don't think you're gonna have any problems loading beans in and using the bellow. So I am going to dial this in. We're gonna do a little bit of grinding with it. I'm showing some other pictures up on the screen as we go that I took earlier, and we're gonna play with it a little bit. This isn't gonna be the last video. This isn't the review video. This is just kind of the unveiling. There's been so many questions. People have so many questions about, how does this work? What's this? What's that? Min and max. Can I do this style? Can I do that style? Which burrs fit into it? So hopefully this just gives you a first look of what you're gonna get, because we are gonna be doing a pre-launch. So make sure to hit up Espresso Outlet, and we're gonna have a pre-launch code for just really good price. And we're gonna start taking pre-orders on these. If you've not seen this video, I'm doing this mid-December right now. So if you're watching this video maybe in January, we're gonna start having grinders start coming to the US here really soon. They are gonna be pre-orders, so don't expect them anytime like extremely soon, first quarter or so. So let's get this thing set up and dialed in. Okay, so I just played with a couple shots, and I started out on about setting 15. I'm down at about 12.5 right now. I knew it'd probably be about 15, and I wanted to show you guys today. This is set on 300 RPMs. This is as slow as it can go. I guess something that I should have said before all this, these do have the espresso burrs in it. So just out of the box, They're going to be the DLC burrs from the Turin brand, and I've been loving them in the DF83. You can get just the stock steel burrs in the 83 as well. This is going to come standard with the DLC coated. And then there's also going to be a second option for DLC brew burrs. So they are going to be more centered towards brew, which on a variable RPM grinder, you're going to get a lot less fines. And you're going to get that really fantastic high clarity cup of coffee. But they're not necessarily going to be the best for espresso. So just know those are probably going to be the two stock burr options that this grinder is going to come with. So you can either do the espresso DLC or the brew DLC. So we have this set on 300 RPMs and about setting 12.5. Everyone's is going to be different. I will let you know too, when they are brand new burrs, they kind of need to season a little bit. I don't recommend, some people, they go Costco and buy a couple pound bag and run it through. You don't really need to do that, but these burrs are brand new. So they are going to be probably a little bit more messy and not pull quite as good of a shot. Give it about 2 to 4 weeks of just regular use, and I think you're gonna be very happy with it. If you have maybe just like a couple of old beans, you wanna play with it a little bit, you can probably just throw them in and just do small batches. It's just not made to run like a commercial large batch grinder. So we're gonna do 18 grams of this Good Brothers. It's a nice toasty, it's not like super dark, it's not super light. So I wish I had some lighter beans to throw in this just to show you the power of the motor. I'll show you the 300 real quick. So 300 RPMs. Just doing a quick video today. So we're going to actually, instead of hot starting this, I'm going to do it cold start with it at the slowest setting. So there it is on the inside, setting 12.5. Kind of a medium roast bean. Obviously with the slower RPM, it's going to go quite a bit slower. If you put it on the max RPM, it's going to be like the DF83 and go very quickly. So there it is, it's done grinding, we can turn it off. Something that a lot of people have said about the DF64V is the motor's so quiet, I left it running for an hour or something. So just something to be mindful of. Very fluffy. It's probably gonna be hard to see with the lighting that I have in here. Very fluffy grounds. These are brand new burrs. The declumper does fantastic. There's like absolutely no clumps in here. Really impressed with that. Really like the design. It's a round declumper. I am going to use a bottomless portafilter today in this rocket. And we're gonna do a little bit of puck prep. Okay, so I'm going to move the camera so that we can see this shot. We're a bit too fine, but it's starting to look pretty nice. A little bit of a delay at the beginning. I would probably go up maybe another half setting or so. So again, thank you for watching. Hit the like and subscribe on our YouTube if you found this video to be helpful. We're obviously going to be doing a lot more content with this grinder since I just got this literally about 2 hours ago. Just got it set up and we're already doing videos and photos with it. Joe Kolb has been playing with it for about a week, the same grinder. So got a lot more cool stuff coming. I encourage you to hit the like and subscribe, I hope. So really appreciate you guys watching today. If you have any specific questions, drop them below. Sometimes we miss them, but we are doing best we can during this busy season just to see all the questions that you might have about this grinder, about some of our other products. But you can also go to our website, www.espressooutlet.net or turingrinders.com. We're going to have lots of photos of the inside of this grinder, as well as when we create more videos, all the videos will be added to the product pages. So appreciate y'all watching. Hope to see you soon.